Well, former Social Development Minister Bathabile Dlamini due back in court today, where her perjury trial is expected to get underway. Dlamini accused of giving false evidence during an inquiry into her role into the social grants crisis. So where are we on this? What are we expecting? Many supporters? Let's find out. Masego Rahlaga joining us from the Johannesburg Magistrates Court now with more. Hello to you, Masego. And the day has finally arrived for Bathabile Dlamini.
That's correct, Gareth. We're expecting the former Social Development Minister to make her plea here today on whether she's guilty or not of perjury or lying under oath. We are expecting that the ANC Women's League will be here to support her as the president of the league, but we haven't spotted any of them just yet outside court or inside. We know that today, basically, the state is planning to bring its first witness. If the case goes ahead, the state will be bringing its first witness as soon as she's pleaded guilty or not guilty. The history around this case, Gareth, is that you might remember in 2017, that's a social grant crisis that saw a lot of people who rely on the social grant plunge into more poverty. Some of them were not paid for a couple of months. And of course, then the Constitutional Court instituted that there should be an inquiry, and Judge President Mwebe was head of that inquiry. And so, as the Social Development Minister at the time, Bathabile Dlamini, was summoned to testify at that inquiry, she didn't really answer any questions. If you'd remember, during that time, she always said that she didn't remember anything. She always used to say that she's not sure every time she was asked questions by counsel. And when the Judge President Mwebe released his report after that inquiry concluded, he did say that he called her evasive and defensive with her answers. He said that he didn't understand why she couldn't answer a lot of the questions from counsel, which were really very simple. Some of them she could have given just a yes or no answer, but she opted to basically just be cynical in all her answers. And that's when the Black Sash, along with Freedom Under Law, then got together to bring this case to court for it to be criminally charged. So today is a pre-trial for the court here, this lower court, it's a magistrate's court, to decide whether it's worth the case going to a high court where the prosecution will then continue. But of course, we know the National Prosecuting Authority did already give the go-ahead for this case. We know that the Divisional Prosecuting Authority did say that it's ready for the case to be taken on a criminal process. This happened in August, and she was summoned to come to this very court in September. And today is basically the first day of the pre-trial. And
just before I let you go, Masego, I'm seeing some tape behind you as well, cordoning off an area. Are we seeing any unusual security because of Bathabile Dlamini coming to court, or is that fairly normal where you are? Is there an expectation of heightened security and supporters to come out to her? Are they worried about safety and security?
Absolutely not, Gareth. Here at the Magistrates Court in Johannesburg, this is what they always do. Since COVID-19, regulations stipulate that there should be some observation of protocol, COVID-19 protocol. So you'll see here there are people who are ordinarily just coming to court. Temperatures are taken, they are sanitized, and then they have to fill in these different forms. Which is basically for tracing purposes, the usual forms that you need to fill out for your temperature, your ID number, your contact details, etc. They just cordon off the area so that they can avoid a super spreader event, as it's alluded to right here in front of the court doors. But really, what's happening behind me here, Gareth, normal here at the Johannesburg Magistrates Court.
Well, I appreciate that. I wasn't too sure if there was extra security or not for the appearance, but good to know there's not at all. We're back to you again later in the morning. Masego Rahlaga, following the appearance of Bathabile Dlamini back in court today, Toombs, with this perjury trial getting underway. And a lot of people still want to know, of course, social grants. Let's not forget, this story is not just about Bathabile Dlamini. It is about the court case, but it's about the number of people who rely on those social grants as well and haven't received it for many, many, many years.